Hello, welcome to Teacher's Diary, where we learn, we laugh, and we celebrate incredible impact of teachers in Africa. Today, we honor those who dedicate their lives to shaping the minds and hearts of students all over the world. Sit back, relax, and let's get ready to be inspired by stories of hope, resilience, and magic of teaching. Let me bring on our guest for today. Hello, sir.
Hello, Bismarck.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you well.
Oh, your voice seems to be very low.
Oh, is that so? Is it better now?
It's still low. I don't know what's the problem. I don't know why the volume seems to be very low.
Is it better now?
But can you hear
Hello.
me?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Can you also hear me now?
Oh, so what's the? It seems I don't know the voice. A minute. Let me check and see.
Okay.
Okay, I think we'll manage it. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you very well, very clearly.
Okay. Let me try to adjust my volume and see what will happen. It seems the volume is very low at my end.
Oh, okay. I have increased all my volume, so
Okay, can you hear me now?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now I'm thrilled to introduce our esteemed guest joining us from the United Kingdom today. He is a remarkable educator who served as a college tutor, the head of Department of Science, and teaching practice coordinator. With a master's degree in physical education, his understanding of this discipline and his experiences in education will enrich our discussions today. Help me welcome Mr. Nyavor Lawson to Teacher's Diary. Say you're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Say, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm good. Thank you for asking.
That's beautiful. How is life in the UK?
It's okay. Life in the UK is okay. Everywhere on the planet now is a busy area, so everybody's always on the run. So yeah, we are taking it one at a time. Yeah. So it's quite okay. It's quite good. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
Say, can you please walk us through your early life?
Sorry, I lost you a bit, please. Hello. You said hello, Bismarck. Hello.
Oh, okay. I'm asking, or I was asking you to just take us through your early life.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
Yeah. I'm okay with that now. Yeah, my early life. In fact, I began my basic education. In fact, I didn't go to what we call kindergarten. I went straight to primary school at the age of five and a half thereabout. So yes, went to my primary education and through JHS program, the JHS system, and I went into I got admission into Mauli Secondary School in Ho. That was in 1994 and completed in 1996. That is, my secondary education, Mauli Secondary School. Then from there, I proceeded to Jessica College of Education, where
Okay.
I trained as a teacher from 1997 and completed in 2000. 2000, yes. So I completed my college in 2000. So I've been in the profession for about 23 years now, 24 years, yeah, teaching. So from there, I was posted to Katekrachi. A young boy completed college around 21 thereabout. Then was posted to Katekrachi very young, in fact, to go and start life all over. It was quite tough, leaving your parents, going to an area that
Okay.
you've not been familiar with. Yes, was quite terrible.
Mhm.
Yeah, and those who know that
Mm.
part of the country, Ghana, that is the northern part of Volta, the road network quite terrible at the time. So traveling all the way to Ketakrachi was quite difficult, but yeah, we managed. I spent some 3 years there. Then
Okay.
I got a transfer. I had a transfer to um, Okaja Chrome in the Boem district for barely a year. Then I got admission to read my first degree at the University of Education, Winnipeg from 2004, completed in 2008. Then from there, I got posted to Akachi College of Education. And so I've been there, then had my master's degree, as you mentioned in your introduction, in 2012. I got admission in 2012 and completed in 2014. And I've since been with Akachi College of Education, working in various offices, as you mentioned, and then also teaching my health and physical education until I decided to look elsewhere a bit, just not too long ago. Yeah, basically that's been my journey journey to cut it short for you.
Wow. I'm not surprised. I told viewers earlier on that today we are actually going to listen to stories of inspiration. Look at just the introductory remarks that you've given us, taking us through the various stages that you have taught. So now let me just take you sorry, let me just take you back a little bit. So after Mauli Senior High School, what inspired your decision to go to Jessican College of Education?
Yeah, when I completed Mauli School at the time, in fact, the grades I had could equally take me to a polytechnic and university at the time. But my father was a teacher, and he always inspires us to also go through that path. So yes, my
Okay.
father was a major player in my decision to go to college of teacher training at the time. And then also he told me how when you train initially as a teacher, it opens up the whole world to you. You can become anything once you train as a teacher. And wow, and he gave me instances by which almost a lot of people that we know who were holding high positions in society were once teachers, how they've also gone through the same route. So, yes, he inspired us or inspired me. So, that was a major decision I had to take. And then also, in fact, I have that love for uh, helping people, see young ones, impacting knowledge to them and helping them grow and develop. It's also something that has been part of me whilst growing up. So, yeah, those were some of the inspirations I had.
Okay. Say now, so life in Jessica College of Education, what are some of the fun memories that you can share with us when you were a trainee in Jessica College of Education?
For fun, we had a lot of fun. And as a boarder, as somebody who attended a boarding school when I was in Mali school, I already and Mali school at the time was a sixth form school, where when I was in Mali school, we had Form 5 students as the old system. Form 5 students as seniors. Then we have the sixth formers also as seniors. So we the SS students were really bullied. So we were hardy. We were very tough. So when I got into Jessica College, already I knew the how to manipulate the system. If I don't want to do some kind of work, I know how to hide and run away and those sort of things. And students, young as we are, one major thing we cherish is if you break the law and you come back and you are not caught, you are a hero. So those are some of the fun memories. You ran away to tie a bit. And in fact, in Jessica College at the time, we were having difficulties with water. Water was a major problem in the college at the time. So what we do is that we go to town to fetch water to use on campus when water is not running. So we have what we call bucket exit. You just pick the bucket as if you are going to town to do something, to go and fetch water, but you have your own agenda. You go and then. So we had a lot of fun. And yes, there was this place in town that they used to sell bush meat. Like they will cook it and then you go and buy some two pieces and
Wow,
enjoy. Yeah, so those
that's
are some of the memories.
that's so interesting. That's
Yeah.
interesting to note. Say
Mm.
now, so how were you able to transition from a trainee from Jessica College of Education to begin your main teaching work in Getekrachi? Were there any difficulty in your transition?
Yes, there were a lot of difficulties to start with. In fact, it's true that one thing teacher education, our program, teacher education program, doesn't cater very well is how to induct newly trained teachers into the service. You finish your training, then when you go back, you vacate. Those times we vacate 3 months. Maybe we complete. Normally, what we do is that we complete around July. Then by 1st September, your postings will come and then you have to be on the move. So those from July, August, and then those 2 months, you stay in the house and then the postings will come. You don't know where you are going. Some people will be thrown anywhere, anyhow. A lot of us were thrown anywhere, anyhow. Then you just have to manage yourself, how to go and settle in the community. And as I said earlier, I was quite young when I completed college, just a little over 2021 thereabout. I'm not sure I was even about 21 fully before I completed. So very young boy, and then you have to go and start life on your own. You've been with your parents all this while. Some of us have just been with our parents all this while. So that kind of break also was something. And then also there was this difference between what really they were teaching us in the colleges and then what really you were going to do on the field. That dichotomy existed. So yeah, it was quite challenging settling in, getting there, looking for accommodation, and then getting to start work, everything was quite challenging initially.
Well, so based on all these challenges that you had faced from your early days,
Yeah.
How have you seen teaching in the, especially in the rural community? Then how is it? Did you see it, and what were some of the perception, or what were some of the things that were running through your mind based on the rural community? How you have to navigate your ways to be able to now settle in?
Yeah. Okay. In fact, for me, I was posted to Ketekrachi town itself, which was a big town, which was
O-
quite big. But I had colleagues that I completed college with. In
mm,
fact, that year, a lot of us from my college were just flipped up to that area or sent to that place. So I had a lot of them who were sent to the hinterlands, and if they tell you their experiences, they come to the city center, or will I say city center? They come to the Katakati town. That is where they can get their pay or salary, or if they want to buy some things once a month or something like that. They come and they share their experiences, the kind of accommodation in which they were sleeping, the classrooms that they were using. Some of the kids have to sit or sleep on their belly to write, and all these things were challenges that they faced. In fact, I was in town, so yes, I would say quite okay. The accommodation was quite okay, but around it was quite terrible at the time.
Wow, wow. So, what inspired your transfer to Kwame Krome? Is it Kwame Krome you mentioned?
Okaja Chrome in
Okajako, good.
near
So,
Jessica, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So, what inspired your transfer to Okajako?
Yeah, what happened was that I told myself when I was going there, I told myself I was not going to spend more than 3 years in Katakrachi itself, because by then you were bonded, you can't even go to school before 3 years, at least 3 years.
Okay.
So when the 3 years was up, what happened was that I applied for transfer. I
Mm,
applied to move away from that place. First, I just wanted to go to school directly, but that didn't happen. So I applied for transfer. Then the regional, the then region, those days, what you do is that before you can even get these things, you have to move all the way from Ketekrachi to Ho to apply for transfer. And there was nothing like telephone. There was nothing like, so you can just see the difficulty around early 2000 thereabout. So I applied. I have to move to the regional office. Yeah, regional office to check on my transfer, and finally they said, okay, the only thing they can do is to move me to Okajaka. So well, it's still better than traveling all the way to Ketekrachi. So I came there to start in 2003, September, September 2003, I came to Okaja Chrome. And by the next year, June, July, thereabout, I had admission and I was leaving for school.
okay. So,
Yeah.
what inspired you to pursue a career in physical education at the university?
Growing up, I've been a very active boy. We used to play around, we used to throw around, do all these things. So I love sports. I love physical activity. So when the opportunity came, in fact, when I was in Katekrachi, I was the zonal. No, well, then not the zonal. We have what we call, is it circuit nowadays, circuit or something like that.
Okay.
The We have those. The district itself big, but we have some partitioning, some share. We shared into some smaller units to be able to compete in sports. And I was the one in charge for Katekrachi town itself.
Wow.
So
Wow.
yes, I started organizing the kids playing. I assisted the then district coordinator. We have to come to all the way to Hofware, and then even Keta to play inter-districts
Okay.
stations. Yeah, so all those things were just fueling my desire from the initial stages, and then I just had a friend also called Doji Jose, who we
Okay.
discussed and said, oh, come on, Charlie, this is an area for us to just pursue. So we quickly, we never had a second thought about it and just decided to go into that area.
Wow. That's beautiful. So, during your days at the University of Education, Winneba, were you still actively involved in sporting activities?
Yes, I did. I even played hockey for the university. I was
Wow.
part of the university's hockey team. Yes, we went to even Nigeria to play one of the West African University games. So yeah, I was actively involved in playing sports for them for the university. I was still active in the when I was still in the university first degree.
So why is it that you were not able to transition from the sporting, the hockey team of the University of Education to possibly to represent Ghana at any international level?
Oh no, I was not the very good, that elite player who can play for the national team, but for the as school sports, yes, we were good and that was what we really wanted to do, but not to play to that kind of a level.
Oh,
So
okay,
yeah,
okay.
just handled it at that level, yeah.
Any fun memory you could share with us as during or that you have had during the days of this studies at the University of Education?
For fun, you can't talk about it. In fact, the university system. That's why I always pity those who do it by distance. You won't feel that touch. That touch is there when you go to the university. So that's where you are among students, 20,000, 30,000 people, students,
Mm,
and then you start to learn a lot. It opens your horizon, or it broadens your horizon and opens up your mind,
mm,
makes you see the world in a different way. But that can also be challenging in a way, because if you don't take time, the fun can take all your time, and then academic work can suffer. The beaches are blasting every week. A whole week celebrations are going on every time. Some game is going on, some competition, everything. Fun is always around. Yeah, but you need to be able to strategize so that you can manage your time academically as against the fun as you also want to have. And all those things make you a whole person.
okay. So how were you able to just move from Winneba straight to Akachi College of Education?
Yeah, what happened was that, in fact, Akachi was not even part of my plan at all.
Okay.
I was looking at when we were in the final year. In the university, what we do is that 3 years academic work on campus, 1 year you go for internship.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, that was the arrangement then. So I was looking at getting one of the good schools in Accra and doing it. In fact, I even went to. I got a space in Accra Academy to do my internship at the time.
Mm,
But I have this friend called Israel. Israel attended Akachiko. He attended Akachiko.
okay.
So when we were mates, when we were competing, and even from aside Accra, I had another friend who was saying that, who advised us we should go to the Eastern region
Okay.
to go and then get some nice schools there and practice. But Israel just told me that, oh, why won't we consider Akachiko? I said, is that so? First, I wasn't enthused about it, but I just gave it a thought, and then, okay, well, Israel is a good friend. So he attended Akachiko, so he knows the people there. We sent the form there for them to agree whether they can get some space and a mentor for us. So they said, oh, they were willing to accept us. So we that and moved us, and we moved to Akachi as by then internship students.
Okay.
So yeah, that was how we got there. And it will be another story how I was retained, if you would want me to go.
Yes, yes. I would have surely asked that follow-up question, so you can please
Uh,
take it from there.
all right. So yes, when we got there, both of us, we had our internship there. And when towards the end of the internship, they had the plan of maintaining one of us.
Okay.
And it happened that the principal, the one who mentored all of us, they were all just rooting for me that I should remain. And my friend Israel, he himself, he also said he doesn't want to remain there, so he wants to go back, he wants to leave. Well, so they pleaded with me, oh, if I can stay. my plans were quite different. Well, I was having different plans for myself at the time, but I said, okay, well, let me just give it a try and see. So they wrote what we call then what? How do you even call this letter? There is a letter that they will write and give to you. Assurance. That's it. Assurance letter
Okay.
that there is vacancy. So I should take it to the regional office in Ho. So I took it there and they posted me there. So that made me stay in Akachi for that period.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, based on what you have just this said, what do you think seems to be unique about you that made your mentor, the principal, and everybody should just say they wanted to maintain you?
Mm, yeah, I think I am one person who can blend with a lot of people, who can work with a lot of people, and I believe in hard work also, and I believe in giving off your best wherever you find yourself, whatever you are asked to do it to the best of your abilities.
Okay.
So I think those were the things, and sometimes I was diligent with, not sometimes, I was diligent with my work too. And again, you don't need to be asked to do whatever you feel is right all the time for you to do it. If you see that something you can do and it is the right thing to do, you don't need anybody to tell you to prompt you before you do it.
Okay.
Just carry on doing the right things, and people observe. What I have seen over time is that even if you are doing right things and nobody's commenting, nobody's saying anything, don't feel that nobody's observing. By all means, somebody's saying, and then at the right time they may commend you, or yeah, it will come to the fore.
Okay. That's beautiful. Now, just from a basic school, Okaja Chrome, to University of Education, from there to Akachiko,
Yeah.
the level you taught at in Okaja Chrome seems to be a lower level. Now you are going to now train teachers. How were you able to do that transition?
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I may just put it that way because but at the time I completed, or at the time I came to Akachiko, some of the students, in fact, were older than me. They were older. They were just like my age. Some were older than me. So
Mm,
how to be able to blend well with them, maintaining discipline, letting them know that yes, there is a difference, but still letting them come closer to you. All these things were quite a challenge. But
mm,
when it comes to the knowledge, the know-how, content of whatever I'm supposed to teach,
mm.
that one I make sure the time I am on top of it.
Okay.
And then also, yes, the strategies, how you can ensure that. And in the university, what I did, there was a course we took that relates to our professional development. One of the philosophies I developed for teaching is that good interpersonal relationship will always help your learners and yourself to achieve. So I always make sure that I have very good relationship with my students,
Okay.
and that helped me so much. So those some of them were older than me, they saw me as friend, they saw me as brother, they saw me as a still they still give me that respect. So it's all about the strategies, and then having very good human relations, and then you'll be able to blend very well. Though the transition was quite big. The movement from lower level, that was how in Okajakrum I was teaching at the primary, and then just straight to the college was a huge leap, but I was able to manage it.
Okay. So in college, is it because maybe most of the students were older than you and you were trying to have that interpersonal to bridge that gap between them to have a nice interpersonal relationship with them? That's made students to begin to call you Sesenya, or where actually from that name?
Hey, this back, you won't forget this name. In fact, that name wasn't my real, like it wasn't my nicky or my nickname. It was
Okay,
for one elderly colleague, one
okay,
Mr. Colley. He even became the chief executive of Home Municipal not too
okay,
long. Mr. Colley is still there.
okay.
he he was the original owner of the name called Sesenya.
Mm.
He has some antics. He's a friendly man, but
Okay.
sometimes if he pretends as if he's angry with you and he's making his antics, then the students, oh, this one is just Sesenya, that he's just dragging Sesenya, or they'll just make fun of it. So what I did was, he was my friend and I was imitating him. I've been imitating him so well that when he's doing the things, hey, you, we'll cause your dismissal, we'll do this way. Then I also be doing it. Then they give, oh, you are just imitating Sesenya. And that's how the name became my name. And so he left, and students started calling me Sesenya. And true to my words, to what I normally do is, and those days college was quite strict. You can't go to town without permission. You can't do this. But sometimes you need to blend your nice relationship with quite a stern discipline. So
Mm.
sometimes, yes, I just, hey, you do this, you do this, but at the end of the day, I just talk and then have fun with the student, and that ends it. So they also just took it as one of those that, oh, even if I feel I display anger or something like that, they know beyond it, it's a very soft heart that is going to just let things go their normal way. So yeah, that's it.
Has there ever been any situation in college where, based on your interpersonal relationship with students, they have taken you for granted?
Oh yes, yes. There has been some instances, but when once that happens, you need to let them know that yes, you are still their tutor. You are still ahead of them. You have still wield some level of authority and power over them. So you need to do that. You need to put them at their right place. So yes, there are sometimes that I discipline students who may have taken my leniency to be a weak point for me. Yeah. So I insist that they do what's right or what's appropriate at the time.
So we all know, we've all been to college before. We know the attitude of tutors in college. Compared to you, there seems to be significant difference between most tutors in college and you in respect of punishing students when they see you in town, what they will do to you. If they see you in town, they frown, but you seems to be jovial with everybody. So do you really think that some of those difficulties that you found, or situation where students even took you for granted, really change you towards how to handle students going forward?
Yes, in fact, I've been always telling my colleagues, and in fact, I had a very positive influence on some colleagues when it comes to student management, behavior management, and whatever we can say about in that regard. The thing is that we have all been students before, and secondly, I always remind them that these people we are seeing as students, these guys that we are calling as students, I don't believe that it should be master servant relationship between us. In fact, if the students are not on campus, teachers can never be on campus. What do I
Okay.
mean by that? We are there because students are there. If students are not on campus, or student, there is nothing like a college. There is no student there admitted into that college. No tutor will also be there. So
Okay.
we are there because the students are there. They are the first priority. So if they are there because of you, if they are there and you are also, no, you are there because of them, then you need to create a very good rapport with them. And secondly, they will never remain the way we are seeing them. A day will come, you open the door to an office and you see the face that is sitting behind that table, then you'll be shocked that you have treated that student in a very inhumane manner. You really struggle to talk to the person there. So we don't want to create a situation where you see somebody one day you cannot talk to the person. That those students, some of them will rise and move above us long time. Some of them can be our lecturers later if you decide to go and take some courses. So if you have this at the back of your mind, then it will always influence your relationship with them. Let them see you as their friend. Let them see you as somebody they can talk to. And students, they have a lot. They go through a lot. They should share. You should be the person that they should share their concerns with. And sometimes, what it does is that when you have that good relationship with your students, even if they are planning something, let me say bad or yeah to do, you can pick those information pieces of information very quickly, and then you'll be able to just settle them or help them to solve the whatever problem they have, and whatever difficulty they want to problem they want to create. You can quickly step in and then help solve those problems. So yeah, so there are a lot of benefits if you relate well with students, to the extent that these are college students, not even primary students. So yeah, those are some of the things that informed my relationship with students, to be fine with them, and they can approach you, share their problem with them, help them, whatever, uh, yeah, whatever way you can help them, you need to be ready to assist them in their problem, to find solutions to their problems.
Okay. Now, as a physical education teacher, how were you infusing physical education into the training of teachers in college?
Yeah, and physical. One thing that also all these things I'm saying is because the course I also took also has had a very positive influence on me.
Okay.
You know, physical education is a social activity where a lot of people play games, and all these things are areas that a lot of people meet and interact and get closer, and yeah, those things occur. So in my teaching, I ensure that students, in fact, the benefits are always there, and everybody knows it. It's just difficult for people to just carry out the physical activity so that they get the benefits. But students in my teaching, I always let them know. In fact, some students, because of me, some students have gone to the university and read physical education. Not one, not two, many of them. They will call me. I want to buy this form. I want to buy the form for physical education. Which university, UCC or UEW, which one? And I've even till today, I've still been coaching and mentoring some of them to be able to develop in that area. So yes, my any form, every time that I have the opportunity, I bring in something that is from that area that helps them. Yes, sports is always about social. It's a social activity where people come together to have fun. Whilst you are having fun, you are learning, you are gaining some benefits for the body also.
So what were some of the challenges that you have encountered as a physical education teacher?
One major problem is about logistics or materials, equipment, supplies to teach with. They've always been a challenge. You would have loved to have resources to teach with, or to yes, to use in your teaching, but sometimes you are limited because you don't have it. And then also in college, uh, competition for time, students' time. Physical activities, physical education needs a lot of time for us to explore. But
Okay.
sometimes competition for time on the timetable by other academic subjects always pose a problem. And sometimes, yes, you want to teach a subject, you want to teach a topic practically, but you know that the way they have placed the subject on the timetable, students cannot go to the field and then come back and go and bath again before they go to class. All these things, they bring a lot of challenge. So sometimes you have to push that after classes to go and teach and find your own spare time of teaching that practical subject. So yes, those were the few challenges, and then cooperation from others on staff also is something that poses a bit of a challenge.
Okay. Based on my observation,
Yeah.
apart from inter-hall sporting activities that goes on in the school, the colleges have intercollegiate that they always this represent the various colleges,
Mm,
and those who are able to demonstrate exceptional skills are selected to represent the region at the national level. It
mm,
always ends at the national level. I haven't heard any a trainee who has been able to be selected to represent or to even join the national teams or to represent any colleges or even to represent the country at the national, maybe at the international level before? What
Mhm.
always account for some of these things?
Yes, so that is also a big challenge, and that goes beyond only the colleges. It's even about the way sports is organized in the whole country. There should be a way by which we have a national festival where colleges can also present their activities, so their athletes to perform in the national festivals, and not necessarily for the colleges. The colleges, yes, we do go for colleges at the zonal level. We go for national games, then that ends it. But what I mean by national festival is the government is of organizing sporting competitions, sports days, where they set the targets or the limits for athletes. Those who are able to make this time in maybe a running activity, or those who are able to do this, they come, they compete, and then from there you select your national teams. But that doesn't happen. In fact, some of the college students are brilliant when it comes to sporting activities. In fact, there was this Peky guy who, Nyavor Lawson, who
Okay.
from college played one is it draft for one of the local clubs. They bought him. They saw him during colleges and picked him up, and then he went out. He played for you. Yeah, still he's still playing outside the country now. So those are some of the things. So some of the athletes we have are very brilliant. They can fit into any national team, but
Okay.
the way the channel the route by which they can go and get into the national teams are not there. So at the end of the day, we just waste them and it ends there. So yeah, it's a big challenge. That's also a big challenge for us to look at how we can make sure our national athletes or athletes from colleges can also get some slot and compete. Now that the colleges have been shared among the universities, I don't know whether a time will come they will want them to compete alongside the universities under which they are now the investors that are mentoring them, whether they will join them to compete for the Gusa Ghana University Games or whatever. We look forward to a brilliant opportunities for them.
Okay. Now,
Mm.
what really led to your appointment as a teaching practice coordinator in Akachiko?
Hmm. I said earlier that it's all about hard work. Work well and be diligent at whatever you do. Be truthful and let your yes be yes. Be when you are convinced about what is right, just say it, and people would appreciate it. In fact, I was at first I started as a student affairs, as a dean of student affairs or student affairs tutor. I was just somewhere, and then the principal called me and told me that he wanted to get somebody to occupy that position. By then, Mr. Nyaji, you know Mr. Nyaji, I'm sure.
Yes.
Mr. Nyaji had left the college, and then Mr. Fevulo was appointed, and Mr. Fevulo too was going to school, so they needed somebody to cover up. And the principal's own words: anybody that I ask who can occupy that position, your name keeps coming up. Your name keeps coming up. So, well, yeah, I don't know. I have no idea about that. He said, oh, okay, can I handle it? I said, oh, if it feels I can do it, yeah, we'll try it and see. Yeah, so I was there. I was occupying that student affairs office over a year, little over a year, and then the teaching practice coordinator also was leaving for school. Then the principal called me once again to his office that really he's torn in between moving me or making me remain in the student affairs. And one thing that he's considering seriously is there is a lot of money that goes to teaching practice unit also. So he want me to go and manage the funds there very well. So okay, he knows I can do well there. Well, so I just told him wherever you feel I can serve and help you achieve your aim as an administrator, no problem. So from there, then he had to move me to teaching practice also. And in fact, he knew that I've been with the teaching practice team, and we've gone through several trainings, and then a lot of. I have some level of experience when it comes to teaching practice, so it wasn't a difficult area to move into. So yeah, that was when principal moved me from the student affairs to teaching
Eh,
practice.
So, what were some of the strategies that you have employed to be able to help students excel at their various schools of practice?
Yeah, there were several changes that we put in place, or we have to employ to ensure that we assist students. One is that you know, those days postings is done in such a way that you just hide it wherever you push the student, they go away and fall, whatever. And sometimes every student is unique. And some of them have a lot of challenges. Some of them have difficulty when it comes to financial issues, they can't settle, but some can also stay at home. Maybe I am from Akachi town. I can stay at home and then do my practice very well. And then, yeah, so I took those factors into consideration. I wrote a proposal to the principal that yes, we want to see how we can make teaching practice more flexible for students so that they can be able to do their work well, not compromising on the standards. So yes, we look at it and then we saw the advantage. We look at the advantages and the disadvantages, and
Mhm.
we decided that yeah, some of those little changes we have to put them in place. They can stay at their places. You let us know where you can be comfortable with. Then we put you there, and then we monitor. And then also we did what we call, we allocated tutors to clusters. We clustered them and then allocated tutors to those clusters to monitor the students and in those clusters. So little groups were managed by tutors, and it was quite okay. And then also this transforming teacher education and learning also brought a lot of changes where teaching practice would always begin in the first year. They start to go out, visit schools, and then get some experience before they finally get out. So yeah, those little changes we implemented, and I think it went well.
So, what accounted for the reduction in the duration of teaching practice from initial 1 year to, I think, 3 or 4 months now?
Yeah, it's all about the new policy of the 4 years teacher training education, where now they are running a degree program. And so, as I said earlier, with the policy from day one, when the students come to college, they have 6 days to visit uh, a particular school. And each day that they are going to a particular school, they have a topic to observe.
Mm,
Maybe they can go and look at classroom management today.
mm,
Tomorrow they are looking at maybe lesson presentation. The next day they are looking at something else. So for the 6 days, year one, first semester they go out. Year two, so year one, second semester they go out for another 6 days. Yeah, like so up till the until the time they get to year fourth year, final year, they would have gathered a lot of experience from the classroom by classroom observation in a form of a classroom observation and little or micro teaching. They teach little groups as just a practice. So the policy feels that by the time they get to the fourth year, they would have gotten enough experience that they can, when they spend 4 months outside, that would be okay for them to be able to have a good training and deliver when they become in service. So yeah, that's it. That's the policy.
There is a falling standard of education in Ghana. Based on your experiences, you have been with colleges for or college for a long time. You have taught under the diploma curriculum. You have experienced the degree uh, curriculum as well. Do you think that the panacea to this falling standard of education is the introduction of the degree programs?
Hmm. First of all, when you say the standards are falling, Well, sometimes you need empirical evidence to speak to, but that is a perception. And I'm not just saying, I'm not saying you are wrong in saying that. What you want me to speak to, I think, is more about looking at the degree, the diploma and the degree.
Yes.
Sometimes it's just a change of name. We always say sometimes some of them is just change of name of the course, or the certificate that the people are getting. I've been with the diploma system. I've been with the degree system. I've seen I have seen all that I needed to see, and I think with the degree program, they will just have to do a comprehensive. It's already run for 4 years now. They are five in this
Mm, mm,
fifth year. They'll
mm.
have to just do evaluation, go back and assess it and see whether the program is running properly and is achieving its intended targets. When the diploma time, we were taking in just some number of students and we were having the time and ability to train them. Now, the infrastructure isn't there to train both the human and then the material resources that we use in training students isn't there. That is why you see students come, some group of students will come to school 6 weeks, then they'll have to go home. Another will have to come for 3 weeks, will have to go home. It's a mess. It doesn't make the academic year or the calendar run properly at all. So in fact, the students who completed and are holding their degree now, I just pity them. It's been a mess. If we have the infrastructure, we have the systems, we have the labs, the classrooms, or the lecture theaters, everything in place, and they introduce the degree program, I think it will be fine. Yeah, it will be fine. But with this, I think this year I was asking, and they said, oh, now they said, oh, they are not going to have the break in the semesters again. In one semester, some group of people will go home about 3 times before coming to complete the semester, and it's just bogus. Some would they say they should be at home and be learning online. Whilst as if I am in Kesenyemito, a village where there is no internet, you know how poor internet connectivity is in our country. How do I get connected? What about the teacher who is even teaching? Has he gotten the skills, the tools and the skills in using ICT to teach remotely? These are the things you see.
So, do you seek to say that the diploma curriculum is better and well run as compared to the degree curriculum?
Yes, it's true. It was well run. It was well structured and well run as compared to this one. This one was brought in without looking at the other aspects. If they were to put the infrastructure and they set up everything before they start, which should have been the best thing, it would have been an okay something, or something that I think is okay. But now the way it's running is just a mess. The
So,
diploma.
does it also mean that we are now producing half-baked teachers to go and teach in our various basic schools?
Hmm. As I said, the training, they are not, the students that are coming out are not really equipped with the skills, the necessary skills they needed to get before they are coming out, because of what I've said. The infrastructure has not been put in place well. Students, some of them will have to go and come back, and the whole semester is just disrupted. You don't know what you teach, and then they just set up the exams. And worst of all, sharing this colleges among universities, or saying that some of them should mentor these colleges. We went to a workshop in Kumasi in the initial stages.
Mm.
I just said that even some of these universities that they say they should mentor us, some of the colleges, some of us in some of the colleges, not that we were boasting, we can even mentor some of the universities when it comes to teacher education. That's what I said. I went to a workshop, I said it, yes. That in fact, the way they structure their things, they've shared the colleges, and some of them they are just interested in the money that the colleges will generate from give them in the form of examination fees and those things. They very porous, very poorly run. And colleges, some of us or some of the colleges, in fact, can mentor the universities when it comes to teacher education. But they say they should rather mentor them. And they struggle. They don't know the structures. You see, Legon, KNUST, UDS, even Winnipeg, that says it's a teacher training institution. Very poorly run when it comes to the colleges at the time. Not because maybe they don't have the know-how or whatever, but political and then favoritism, all these things. So the right people will not be appointed to take up some positions. And a lot of these younger boys that were appointed who don't know anything about teacher education. So really, it's a mess for
So
now.
based on where you sit now, if you are given the opportunity to do something about the new curriculum, how the new curriculum is being run, the colleges are now being divided among certain universities. Will you revisit that and possibly allow all schools to be under University of Cape Coast as it used to be?
Yes, Cape Coast, in fact, if I am given that opportunity, I'll make sure we take all colleges from all the universities and then maybe make them one unified institution that will run on its own. UCC, fine, very good. The structures are there and they are good when it comes to teacher education. But what they were also doing at the time was that they were taking colleges for granted until this split and others came in. Then they realized that no, because they were having all the 38 colleges under them
Yeah.
and monopoly. You know how what
Mm.
the consequences of having monopoly. So those were the things. But I can say for fact that UCC has the structures. UCC is very good when it comes to teacher education, and they can still do a good job than any of the other universities in Ghana. But what I would want to say is that, yes, going even beyond that, why can't we just bring all the colleges under one umbrella and then find just put them under one institution, not even the universities, put all of them as run them as just one university with different campuses and having a structure for them, a very good, well-educated people who have the skills and the know-how to run it, and it will be fine. It will be fine.
Okay. Now, based on what I have seen, based on my perception,
Yeah.
I seek to say that the teacher training curriculum or even the educational curriculum at the basic level doesn't allow trained teachers to bring creativity or doesn't allow teachers to even use their own ideology to help kids to be able to discover themselves. Based on where you sit now, do you think that our teacher training curriculum just prepare teachers to go to the classroom, do as they were told, or the teachers themselves need to bring some form of creativity to help kids to discover their full potentials?
I think the best way to educate, in fact, research says that teachers teach the way they were taught. Most teachers teach the way they were taught. So some teachers go back, or a lot of our teachers that we train, they go back in the classroom trying to just do what they were taught to do. As Riley said, lacking creativity. But all of these things, I blame it on the policies that run teacher education in Ghana. Yeah, and we are still training teachers as a Gold Coast time training. That type of
Mm,
training shouldn't be there. And in
mm,
fact, moving out of Ghana and seeing how teacher education is in here, I can speak to that of UK, and then also how their classrooms, how they teach in their classrooms. We should what should be happening in Ghana should go beyond the kind of things that we are doing now. All because okay, let me put it this way. Now we are moving away. We are now in a digitalized society. We are now in a system, or we are running a system where ICT tools and everything is what they are using in the classroom. So it's all about providing the resources for teachers. In fact, here you see somebody googling in the classroom to find an answer. You go to their they have their sites where people design lessons with teaching and learning resources. Everything is there. So yours is just to go through and then prepare yourself and go and teach. We don't want to. We want to move away. I want us to move away from the kind of training that we have been given to our teachers and see. But it all depends on the infrastructure. Here, internet is running 24/7, so somebody is able to do all these things. Print from the classroom, printers are there, what the photocopiers are there. So many things are there, but our country lacks those kind of resources. So it's all about the policies and doing the right investments in education. And over time, if somebody is bold, is very firm that yes, this is the way I want us to go. Over 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, we'll start to reap the results of a good investment. Yeah, but as where I sit, it's difficult to see that happening in the near future. So our teachers will continue to do the traditional way of teaching, and then they just
So,
get back.
as a college tutor, as somebody who was directly involved in training teachers in Ghana, how will you describe a successful teacher or a teacher trainee who has completed a training college and he or she is waiting to be posted into the classroom? What are some of the specific skills that you would like to see in that teacher before you can describe him or her as a successfully trained teacher?
Of course, what I want to see in that teacher is how he's able to blend content knowledge with pedagogy.
Okay.
Successful. Yes,
Mm,
how to be able to blend these two.
mm,
He's very good when it comes to content knowledge, and then very good when it comes to pedagogy, and marrying the two together
mm,
to explain concepts and in the classroom. That's a successful teacher. And then also
mm.
beyond the content knowledge and pedagogical knowledge, you should be able to, as I always say, relate well, manage classrooms well, relate well with your learners, and help them to achieve. That would be a successful teacher by my description.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine. Before we move on to a different aspect, we all know that considering all the colleges of education in Ghana, a lot of the old people used to go to Jessica College of Education. Is that really true?
Hello, I didn't get that well.
I'm saying that considering all the colleges of education in Ghana, we all know
Yeah.
that those who seems to be very old before they go to college normally go to Jessica College of Education. Is that true?
The irony of the thing is that when we were in a Jessica college,
Okay.
we were also laughing at Akachiko. They say if you think you are old, go to Akachiko. That's the insult they used to insult people. And in fact, what happened was that the year badge that was ahead of us, that year badge, we have what we call part one, part two, and then at the time they were scrapping off the part one, part two.
Mm,
So all those who failed, what they did was that they moved all of them to Akachi
okay.
in the region, all the colleges in Volta moved all
Mm,
those who failed to
mm,
Akachi to go and then go through some remedial courses there. So
mm,
that even enhanced the saying that it's for the mature people, it's for those people who have failed and all that things. That's the irony. In fact, I got out of Jessica before I was hearing that people were also saying that Jessica students were old. But look at me, as I was saying, about 20 years and I completed college, so very
mm,
young at the
mm,
time.
mm.
Yeah. But these
Okay.
are all fun that we create among ourselves as
Mm,
college students at the time.
okay. So from being a PE tutor, you
Yeah.
served as a teaching practice coordinator, head of science department before you left Ghana.
Yeah.
What are some of the successes that you can talk about based on all these positions that you have held?
Mm, hmm. This one, you have to go to the college and ask.
I want to hear it from yourself. You should be able to tell us.
Yeah, well, they always say there is this saying that if you are cutting a path, you yourself you may not be able to tell how straight it is. So maybe
Okay.
when people speak about people speak about it, they may
Mm,
be able to give the right judgment about how successful I was as head of department or whatever. For the head of department, I held it not too long before I left.
Okay.
Yes,
Mm,
so I didn't do much in that area, but the teaching practice area was somewhere I spent a lot of time. So
mm,
yeah, even living there, students were not happy. Students demonstrated. Some students said they were going to write to the principal. They shouldn't change me. They shouldn't do that. Well, I don't know what the right things I was doing before they were saying that I shouldn't leave that office. So yeah, so maybe you can get some of the students who are still
mm.
there now or who just completed, and I say talk to them and see if they can give you a better assessment of my tenure of office.
Okay. So based on where you sit now, what are some of the things that you miss about college? Being a
Uh,
college teacher.
I miss my students, so I miss my students. I always miss them because today, tomorrow, messages everywhere. Those who have completed, those who are still there, and everybody. Oh, some students called me again, like they called me on video call, and we were just having fun, having conversations. They were telling me tomorrow, Monday, they are coming to supervise them.
Mm.
They are now out for teaching practice, so they are coming to supervise them. And so it will be fine. They should just do what they've been doing right, and that's all. So yeah, I've missed them. I've missed my colleagues. Yeah, those are the things. I built a very good relationship with my colleagues and students. So yeah,
So
that's
those
some of
of us who used to teach at the basic level and senior high school, we are aspiring to move to college. And
mm.
you happen to be there for so many years. So what made you leave college to the UK?
Oh, for college, yes. In fact, when I was even in Ghana, some universities were chasing me up to come and then join their faculty.
Mm,
Due to one or two things, it didn't happen. So yes, everybody wants to move. Everybody wants to take on new challenges and then aspire to be the best the best that you can be of yourself. And yes, spending over 50 years in college, I think it was enough for me to step a bit higher and see what happens, what's outside college. Yes. So you challenge yourself, you give yourself new challenges, and then see what you can do. So that's just the inspiration. Aside
okay.
that, I think it's okay.
Mm.
Yeah.
So based on where you are now, things you are seeing in the UK,
Mm.
how is their educational system like?
It's an advanced society, so they have the structures, they have everything that works perfectly for them. As I was saying already earlier,
Mm,
I was saying earlier that their classrooms are all connected to the internet. They have these screens that they display everything on. They are
mm,
not using, the kids are sitting comfortably, very small class size.
mm,
Those children that have special needs are being catered for one on one.
mm,
What else do you need in a classroom? That's all. If this is replicated in my country, I tell you, my teachers will deliver. They will still teach. I believe that yes, we have good teachers out there who can still do the job.
mm.
Yeah, so these are the things, and they run the schools as business.
Okay.
Yeah, the schools are run as business. So everybody, though the council schools are there, they have a business manager in the school who looks at the business aspect of the school.
Mm,
So when I say business aspect, not like selling or marketing anything, but they
mm,
want the school to, like if you own a private school, how you run it, make sure everything works. Staff comes to school on time. This thing, everything. When somebody is absent, they look for a supply to replace him in the classroom. All these things are put in place, and somebody is running. Everybody takes up something. They are
mm.
they have an administration that is running, administrative staff, somebody taking calls, calling parents, this and this. So the structures are just there and they are running very well. So yeah, if these things are put in place, why not? They will deliver. They will do well.
Wow. Wow. Now, we always hear of international best practices. So, what are some of the skills that teachers in the UK actually demonstrate in the classroom? Because we hear of these international best practices all the time. So, what are some of these, based on things that you are observing in the UK? What are some of these best international practices that they talk about all the time?
For me, what I would say, the best practices, I cannot compare their method of teaching to that of our teachers, because what they use, the tools and the equipment they have to teach with, my colleagues don't have back in Ghana.
Mm,
So if you compare them in that regard, you may not be making a fair judgment.
okay.
So the best practices, I think, is about classroom management.
Okay.
Here, one thing we are struggling to deal with is about how we can take canes out of our classrooms.
Okay.
Yeah, here, you dare not. It's not even mentioned. You can't even mention it. You can't even think about it. I think around 1982 that they took away canes from their schools
Mm,
long ago. So the best practice is how to handle, how to do behavior management, how to handle behaviors that are inappropriate in the classroom, how they
mm,
go about it, and then how they resolve the little conflicts that may ensue between two learners, three learners, or whatever. Those are the areas I think they may have best practices here. But when it comes to the teaching in the classroom, because yes, they have the sites that produce these things for them, and then they just prepare, add some flesh and other things. And even they use the chat GTP to, is it GTP or GPT, chat GPT or whatever they call it,
mm,
to even
mm.
teach the classroom to whatever they want. They just tell and then type it in. It gives them variety, you see. So those are not, I won't say those compared to my classroom in a village where they don't have the internet, the teacher is not having a laptop or computer to do anything. How would you say you compare them in that regard? Yeah, so that's it. The best practices could be classroom management, but when it comes to best practices, we can also even take these things I'm talking about, the internet connectivity and other things, into our classrooms.
Mm.
The wastage in the system is just too much. If we direct our resources appropriately to the right, uh, or use the right channels to direct them, yeah, all the people will do well. The teachers will do well. They will enjoy their teaching also.
So, how do they manage deviant or disobedient students in the classroom or in the school?
Mm, here in UK, yes, there are various ways. The students have some rights, and then they can decide to take away some of them from them.
Okay.
They have a break time and then play time. You can say, no, you are not going, or you go outside, you stay by the wall. You are
Mm,
not going to join your colleagues to have fun, to play. They have things like do something like they call a golden time. That's an extra time they give to the kids to have your own, to choose whatever you want to do and then have fun. Maybe on Fridays, on Thursdays, 20 minutes, 15, 20 minutes, or 30 minutes. Yeah, so they would have fun, choose the activities that they want to do, they want to go outside and like do whatever they want to do. If you're a deviant student, they take away that also from you. So you sit and then look at your colleagues. And these kids are emotional
mm.
and they have a strong attachment to some of these things. So yes, we may not be doing the same thing, but we can also find ways of which, another creative ways by which we can make sure that aside caning the kids, we can have ways by which we manage deviant behaviors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now
In
we.
fact, sorry, just to add one, they can even proceed to report to their parents, the parents of the children,
Mm.
and then you can be suspended also. And that one, it becomes serious, and your parents will even be paying for your suspension.
Wow.
So, yeah.
That's beautiful. But based on that suspension issue you have raised,
Mm,
in Ghana, should a student be misbehaving and maybe teachers have asked the student to go home and bring the parents, some parents will not come. If
mm,
you dare ask the student to go and stay with the parents until the parents are willing to come to the school, the
mm,
next moment you hear the name of the school on the, maybe on a radio station, or the
yeah.
parent will even go to the education office, and the education officers will not even give listening to ear to the teachers or the headmaster to explain what's really happening in the school. So do you
Mm.
think that maybe based on how education system or education offices in Ghana are handling teachers in the schools, it's entirely different from what is done in the UK?
Yeah, it is. It's totally different, and it's all about policies and structure. So, this one there are levels, and everybody is aware. The parents are aware. Government itself has stated it and has clearly written it down. Everybody is educated about it. So, once you fall foul of one of the rules or regulations, you know the consequences. You see. So, the Department for Education and parents, teachers in the classroom or the schools, they are all on the same page. They all know what is going on. So everybody is clear. Nobody's going to say, like, if the kid is sent home, the
Okay.
parent, the parent would not just say, I won't come, or he has been invited, he say, I won't come. You know, who dare you not to come, or who dare you not to speak? You see, so then you know the consequences. So the structures are there, and it works well. Everybody's on the same page. Everybody's educated about what your obligations are and what you are supposed to do when these things come up. So yeah, that's it. So it's all about making it well known, educate our people. It's also about the level of education of uh, some of our parents in our country. That's also another challenge.
So is it because we do not have knowledgeable people or people who are well versed in education to design a curriculum in Ghana for maybe for us to adopt some of these modern practices and change the face of education in Ghana?
If I say we don't have, I will be lying. We have knowledgeable people, but it's the willpower and then also the resources that they will use in implementing this. There are some private schools in Ghana that are running very well, that are independent of government. They
Mm,
don't have anything to do with government, so they are run as business, and then they are doing so well. They implement these policies that we are talking about, best practices from outside. You do it, and everything is running perfectly. People are aware, but the government schools, because yeah, it's misappropriation, and then we are not setting priorities right. Yeah, so even the minister of government said this politically, he knows it's not possible to do it, but he's also just blurting it out. You see, those are the things, those are the challenges that we are facing.
So based on what you have seen in the UK, do you think that the new standardized curriculum that has been introduced in Ghana is
Mm.
coming to change things? I
Mm,
mean, I mean
I'm
at the basic schools.
I'm not a prophet of doom, but it will succeed because the curriculum itself is fine. The
Mm,
standard-based curriculum is good. If
okay.
you look at the document itself, so nice,
Mm,
but they cannot it cannot be implemented the way it should be implemented, so it will fail. It will still
mm,
go back to the this yeah. It's not you don't need any rocket science to be able to predict that it will still crash again because
mm,
yeah, they don't have the resources to fund it.
mm,
And
mm,
even if you have the resources to fund it, to support it, to implement it, uh, somebody's looking at 10%, somebody's looking at making money out of the system. So the monies will not go to the right sources and
mm.
it will collapse again. So, yes, it's a very fine document that I love looking at and reading, but I don't think it would give us the intended result.
So are you also of the view that they should privatize the Ghana education service?
Hmm. It will worsen situations from where I sit. You know, here councils run the schools. Like
Okay.
we have private schools that are owned privately. We
Mm,
have council run schools, yes. And some are semi government support them. They also run as a business. Or some are in between like that.
mm,
The council run schools are like just the way we call district assemblies. They run the schools. This one we call them councils here.
mm,
They run the schools and then they supply everything to the schools. If
mm,
that is done in the country, look, the common fund that they give to the assemblies, when was the last time it was paid? I can't tell. I'm not a politician, so I don't want to go into that even area.
mm.
So it will stifle the schools and they will die down. So it's like, I don't know where exactly for privatization, I don't think it will succeed because the assemblies and the councils are not very strong for now
Now
to start.
we learn that teachers are paid well in the UK. So comparing how teachers are paid in the UK to let's even consider maybe basic school or elementary or high school teacher salary in the UK to how to the salaries of teachers at the colleges of education in Ghana.
Mm.
Can we do proper comparison in terms of the pay differences?
I don't think so because they are paid in different currencies, and yet they go on strike. Last year they went on strike that their salary is not good enough, or
Okay,
inflation has eroded their salary, part of their
okay.
salary. So they went on
Mm,
strike. I think
mm,
they gave them 6% or something like that.
mm,
Yeah, so everywhere, nowhere cool. And they are paid in different currencies, and what the currencies are do can do for somebody here and the other place, it will vary. Yeah, it will vary. So yeah, it will be quite difficult to compare them like that, though. But certainly, it is an advanced society. So you should know, you should just know that yes, they will certainly be at the advantageous position than the Ghanaian. Here, somebody can be in the primary school or basic school, and even be any more than the university lecturer in Ghana. If you
mm,
want to compare whatever, what the money here can do for them and can do for them in Ghana,
mm,
yeah, somebody here can be taking more than somebody in the university. So it depends. They are using different currencies, and then also they run different economies. If maybe Ghana's inflation is around 20 or 30 something, here it's 4%, and they are crying that they say it should be 2%. You see how things are. Yes, and interest rate you borrow here, the interest rate very low. Ghana, you are paying over 30 something. So these are the things that can erode your salary also.
There
Yeah.
is a teacher watching right now who decide to leave for the UK. What advice would you have for such a person?
A teacher who wants to live for the UK. Oh man, the advice there. If I have my way, I'll bring all teachers for everybody in my country to come and experience who have not been here before, come and experience life and how things are done here. And if they want to go back, they go back. I don't have problem. And so if a teacher wants to come, why not? If he uses the right channels and then wants to come in. And there are some areas you can just get your QTS. Here they have what we call qualified teacher status. That the Department for Education can give you. So if you write the right the requirements that they want and you fit in, you
Mm.
get one of the schools. It's one of the areas that they are short. They are running short, so they are looking for teachers. Yeah. So the advice is, come on, get your visa, get everything ready, and if you want to, can come and experience it. And if you want to go back to, you can go back.
And say, are you sure that people have this opportunity to move to the UK based on what you are saying and somebody want to go back?
It depends. It depends on what everybody wants in life. So
Mhm.
I can't say. There are some people who come and they go back. Maybe they've gotten a ministerial appointment or something like that, and they
Okay.
want to go back.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now,
Mm,
the situation in Ghana is that once you have completed college and you have perhaps diploma and you go
mm,
for your degree, everybody wants to go to the senior high school after degree, their masters or PhD. Everybody wants to move to higher level. Is the situation the same in the UK like that?
not at all. Not at all. Here, if you are training for higher education, you train and go there. If somebody is training for primary, he trains for primary school. Somebody is training for university, is training there. So it's just anywhere you want to go, you fix yourself. And nobody is struggling that. In fact, there's some schools here. people don't want to go there. People want to be in the. A lot of people want to be in the primary schools. Why?
mm,
There is no difference in salary, or it depends upon your rank and whatever you are,
mm,
and that. eh, they feel that the kids here, high school, living, indiscipline in them, so people don't want to get into trouble with those kids. So they want to just remain at their this thing. And in Ghana, the only challenge is that it's about prestige. It's not about salary too. Just like here,
mm,
it's about oh, I'm teaching SHS. I'm teaching in here. Yeah, it's not like that. Nobody feels big. That nobody cares about that.
mm.
Mm. So
So,
it's not a matter at all here. But in Ghana, yes, it's about prestige.
so based on things that you have experienced in the UK, will
Mm.
you say that the salary that you were paid back in Ghana, you were
Mm.
underpaid, or they were paying you based on your performance?
This man. Back in Ghana, whether I was underpaid or they were paying me based on my performance. I said they were underpaying me now.
Mm,
Yeah, yeah. We did a lot of things that here, when you do it, it fetches you money.
mm,
Like mentoring. Here mentoring is a different job altogether on its own.
mm,
And there we were teaching in the classroom, we were mentoring students, we were supervising, we were running this. Ah, and some of them you don't get anything for it at all. They say it's part of your work. It's not here, so it's not like that here. Here, everybody, the work is plenty, so you do small part of it, then you get your money, then you get and go. Everybody also, somebody's also doing this part, somebody's doing this part. So if you are combining, yeah, you are making more money for yourself. Yeah, so that's what I can say about that.
Now, there is a school of thought that the performance of pupils at the basic school
Mm.
has fallen, and the performance at the senior high school has also fallen. Do you think that because teachers are underpaid, that is contributing to some of these things?
I don't want to associate that to what they get, to remuneration. You know it before you enter. As
Mm,
as a an individual, I always say that you do your best. You see, as a teacher, you need to do your best. Don't say because I am underpaid, so the students in the classroom should suffer. If I am asked whether that is also a factor, yes, it could be a factor, but it goes beyond that. Some of the teachers, it's not. Some of them are ready to work, but they don't have the resources. In
mm,
fact, I learned we changed the curriculum, and 4 years running or 5 years running, some of them there are no textbooks for the
mm,
curriculum that they have changed. Nothing
mm.
is not working, and nothing is working. So it's just not about the teacher, about his salary. It's also about the role that the government have to play. It's also not coming up. So yes, there could be very few. If statistically want to look at that, I'm not sure it will be so significant. To
Mm.
Mhm.
But based on you attending Mauli Senior High School, you taught in Ketekrachi,
Mhm.
Okajakro, Akachiko. What at all is constituting the poor performance of pupils in Ghana?
I think I just alluded to the one of them being government not just ready to uh, play its part when it comes to education. Like we just said, you have changed the curriculum. Before you change the curriculum, the textbooks must be ready. Everything should be ready so that it takes off at a go. It all moves
Mm,
in a unison. But now, curriculum has been changed. People are now scanning through the internet or in their minds to. Some people are even taking advantage of the system, writing chaff into the system, and people. That's what some of the learners are using. How can you succeed with such a situation? And then also look at SHS students preparing for exams. They'll go and buy past questions and give to them that
mm,
go through them and set questions. That's not it. They are not learning. See, we are just churning out examination machines. So people who just are just preparing towards exams. So that's also another major area that, if I have the voice to speak, I'll speak about de-emphasizing examinations.
Mm,
Yes, we have placed so much emphasis on examination to the detriment of student learning. Yeah,
mm,
so students are just learning towards exam. No, that's not development. Students, nobody
mm,
develops that way. Yeah, so we want to make sure that we de-emphasize examination and make learning quite liberal, and
mm,
help students to permanently. They must take in knowledge that will remain with them forever, rather than just chewing and pouring for examination's sake.
okay. I have realized that there are certain comments and that we need to read. But let me ask this question. How do
Mm.
they develop this critical thinking and mold the thought of kids in these advanced countries?
If you see the way they teach them, yes, they really push them to think.
Mm,
If you sit in their classroom and they are teaching, and you see what they demand of these kids,
mm,
quite high. When it
mm,
comes to science, yes, why is this so? The why question. So you must write and explain why. You must do these things. And the student is not learning that, is not just in the classroom knowing that no, end of term exams will be coming, end of
mm,
semester exams will be coming. Let me just choose this and do this. No, he's writing and expressing himself, and nobody is there condemning or insulting him or like that. You
mm,
see, so it's about the kind of things they teach them and then the demands that they place on the kids. So it makes
mm,
them think. The classroom setting is already giving them that space to critically think and
mm,
analyze. Yeah.
mm. Oh, okay. Let me go through some of these questions first. I think people have sent a lot of this thing. Let me see. Selo everywhere, selo everywhere, selo. Oh, okay. These are, they say, okay. It's just selo, 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 selo.
they, I know them. They'll just give fans, plenty fans.
Somebody is saying that I should tell you that your brother, Alex, is it Togboshi or something like that? I don't know if the
Yes,
person, right?
yes. Togoshi Alex. Hey,
Yeah. He says
he's
I
in
should
the
tell you that
northern part of.
he said your brother extend he extend his greetings to you.
Oh, so much. I receive it. I thank you so much. Oh, Alex, I think it's posted to the northern part. They were at the last. Is it the last badge of diploma or the
Oh,
first
okay.
badge of degree? Something like that. Yeah, Alex Tobushi. I know him very well.
Lachu Grant is saying that you were the best STC coordinator.
Ah. Hey.
Jordan, Godfather, is saying that he still remember how you chased him to
I
come and
chased
write
him.
quiz in college.
You- hey, Godfather Jordan, yeah. I chased
Yeah.
him. You have to write the quiz by all means. Mhm.
Now, say
Mm.
there has been some form of rumor and a whole lot of things that the assessment marks that are given to students, some of them do not deserve it. Is that
Mm.
really true?
Yeah. Is it in college? You mean in college, right?
Yes, 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 please.
Some don't deserve this. Some also deserve more than that.
So how come people are giving marks that they do not deserve? What accounts for some of these things?
People don't know how to differentiate relationships.
Mm,
Professional relationships and then personal relationships or whatever, don't allow it to influence your judgment.
mm,
Yeah, people like, for instance, let me just say this. When I was STS coordinator, there was this colleague that I stopped him from assessing students or giving. I never gave him them some students to supervise again when it comes to
mm,
STS, because he doesn't go to he will not meet the students. That with the new STS or supported teaching in schools, what we do is
mm,
that when the students go out, and come back. You need to meet them, discuss what they have gone out to
mm,
look at,
mm,
and then at the end of the day, you assess them based on their writings and then whatever they've done. Some will not meet them, and then they will just, when you are demanding for scores, just give you some scores. And
mm,
what I do is I go behind them to go to the various groups and then ask individual group leaders what they were able to do or what has gone on. And so yes, there are sometimes you need to look at these things and take action. I discussed with principal, and then so the colleague, I know I'm not one of his best friends though, but I know I was convinced in my heart I was doing the right thing. So I
mm.
don't bother too much. Yes,
Okay. Vochia Moses is telling you that they are coming to the UK, even if it's for holidays, they are coming.
they should come. Tell them I'm here. I'm in Birmingham. They should come around.
Say, do you think that it's easy for somebody to come and attend maybe university in the UK, do his or her master's or PhD? Is it that easy?
If I say it's easy, it's not true. It's difficult.
Okay.
What you need to do is that if you have somebody to sponsor you, to pay your fees for you, come on,
Mm,
pack your bag and baggage and come.
mm,
But if you don't have it, where you have to combine work with your academic work and pay your own fees, pay your accommodation, your feeding, your and other incidentals,
mm,
pay all those things, and then attend school with your and then still pass is quite difficult. Yeah, you asked me whether it's difficult. Yes, it's difficult. I'll say
mm,
that. But if you have somebody who will sponsor you, come
mm,
on. We are brilliant kids. We are brilliant guys back there. You fit in here. You work hard. You pass well. I tell you, you succeed in
mm,
your academics. You do well. But if you don't have the
mm,
sponsorship, yeah,
mm,
it will distract you.
mm.
Mm. I have
Someone,
friends.
mm,
I have
could you
friends who.
please mm,
Oh, I was just
go?
going to say I have some friends who are really struggling to uh, get by. So it's difficult. It's really
Mm.
difficult. Yeah.
But is it possible that once you get to the country, you can navigate your ways through, even if you do not want to continue with the school, you can defer and start later on?
It's difficult. That one to UK is becoming very stern on that.
Okay.
Even right now, what they want to those days, what they do is that if you come on students visa, you finish, you can just look for work. Somebody will sponsor you, then you continue. But now they say
Mm,
if you finish, you go back. If you want
mm.
to come back for work, you apply.
Wow.
They change their policies like the way their weather changes just over just like that. So yes, because there is a lot of influx, a lot of people coming in. So and they're also looking at streamlining some of the things. So that
Mm. Someone is asking, how can teachers in Ghana get vacancies in the schools in the UK? And maybe before writing the QTS, or what should they do? Someone is asking that question.
no, the QTS is not an examination, right? If I think there's a link that we can share or we can drop with people who are, but I think you should be a science student, you should be a math student. These two areas,
Mm,
if you major in them, yeah, and then Spanish. But I'm not sure any Ghanaian is able to do that much with Spanish.
okay,
You just apply, go through it, apply it, and apply, go through it, fill it. They will tell you whether you are qualified to apply for the QTS. Then there is a link that you apply for. Then if they give you the QTS, quickly you just apply for your visa and then come. They'll give you school.
okay. Do you
Mm.
think that teachers from Ghana, based on some of these differences that we have spoken about, teachers in Ghana will be able to teach perfectly in the UK?
Not really. They would have to, in fact, they'll have to go through some orientation, some level of retraining. I call it retraining. Just
Mm,
equip yourselves a bit.
mm,
Then they can be, because the way they teach is different from the way we used to teach back in Ghana.
mm,
There are some slight differences. Yes, like your mathematical operations. If you are teaching them here,
mm.
the way we say this one carry over, this one is doing this one. Some they also have a different way of doing it. So just those little tweaks, but they will fit in. They within some little time they'll be able to fit in very well and do well.
Okay. One of your former student, Mr. Amevinya, is asking that what are some of the distinct teacher qualities a UK teacher possesses than that of a Ghanaian teacher?
Distinct teacher qualities that they possess aside Ghanaian teacher.
Yeah.
One is that they are all ICT inclined. Most
Okay.
of them, they like typing, Word, Excel. They are very good in all. Almost all of them are very good in those areas.
Okay.
But I'm not sure every Ghanaian teacher has those skills or is equipped with those skills. Those are the distinctive one I can see.
Mhm.
And then maybe yeah, that's the major one. But aside that, I think we are all on the same pedestal. We are all on the same level, and also they are more patient than us because here, even if you are shouting, you need to be careful with discipline. As I said, those areas they are more patient with their learners than the Ghanaian teacher. Ghanaian teacher would knock your head right now, will cane your back, will insult you right now. But here, they don't do that. They are more patient with them. So the ICT skills and then patience handling learners. I think those two areas. Aside that, every area we also tick the boxes.
I think based on that patience aspect you've just spoken about, the reality is that a teacher cannot even shout at a student. You can't do
Yes,
that.
you can't do
Yes, you
that.
can. Yes, you can do. But
You
a
can't do
student can
that.
even, but a student can shout at a teacher.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, someone
Yeah.
is asking, someone is saying that Wisdom is saying that, please, I don't understand the QTS well. You should explain further.
QTS is what qualifies you to teach in UK schools. It's
Oh,
qualified teacher status. That's the full
okay,
meaning. Qualified teacher status.
okay,
So they look at your certificate.
mm,
Ghana is a country they have identified that our teacher training is good. It's okay. So
okay,
they look at your certificate and then so it's a link you apply. You just fill the the page to
mm,
their Department for Education. You fill it and then they will see whether yes,
mm,
based on your training, we can accept you as somebody who can you are qualified to teach in our schools. Then they will give you that certificate. It's like a
mm,
certificate that you get.
mm,
Then quickly you can just get into their schools,
okay,
and you'll be paid as any normal teacher.
okay.
In any UK trained teacher, yes. So Ghana is one of the countries, I think Nigeria and some other countries, they have accepted our teacher training as something that is okay. That's good for them
Mm.
to be able to be in their school. So yeah, I don't know
Another
whether
person,
that.
please go ahead. Sorry, go. Please
I
go
said I
on.
don't know whether I have really explained it to the understanding of the person.
I think you did.
Yeah.
Someone is asking, what is the orientation really meant for?
Which
Yeah, or
orientation?
if somebody is given the opportunity to teach in the UK, you
Mm,
have this mentioned that the person needs to undergo some form of your orientation.
no retraining. Yeah. The thing is, you
Retreat.
just
Mm,
the person will have to do what we call like observe again in the classroom. You
okay.
would have to, yes, maybe serve as a teaching assistant first, be in the classroom. Here too, they have in their classrooms, despite the small number of learners, they have what we call teaching assistants who
Mm,
support the classroom teachers.
okay.
They do the lamination, they do the photocopying, they do the printing, they assist even the maybe, and in their classrooms, they have classified the learners, the high achievers, the medium ones, and then the low achievers.
Mm,
And they devote time
mm,
to these low achievers. So the teaching assistant, whilst even the class is going on by the main teacher is teaching the whole class. Those small groups within the class, the teaching assistant may also be playing a role with them, teaching them, helping them, assisting them to understand or follow the lesson. And
mm,
even they don't give equal tasks to all of them. Some
okay.
students will be doing ready, some will be go, some will be. There are three levels.
Mm,
Yeah, those who are on the ready means that they are they are the medium achievers. The goal, I
mm,
think, are the high achievers, and then there's one for the low achievers. So, though the same topic or the same concept, if they are giving them tasks to perform in the classroom, you see some are having they are having different sheets in the classroom to work with.
mm, mm,
That is the kind of teaching they do in the classroom. So you from Ghana directly, you can't come and fit into the classroom like that. You don't know these things. So you need to sit in the classroom, do some observations, and do teaching assistant job for some time, and then that you get the skills and then move on.
mm.
Yeah.
Based on that achievement classification thing you have spoken about, I
Mm.
know a school in Volta region that was actually doing that. They were classifying the kids in the various classrooms based on their ability groups. But officers from the Ghana Education Service said that is a way of embarrassing the students. So it doesn't conform with the rules and all the arts of education in Ghana. How true is that?
I said it already that we are still training, we are still behaving like the 20th century teacher training. We are still
Mm,
doing things that way.
mm,
Yeah. Well, how will you say that is an embarrassment to the kid? The kid is not achieving. So if I'm teaching a multiplication, I'm teaching maybe addition of mixed fractions, and the
mm,
learner cannot even do simple fractions, simple ones,
mm,
even addition of the whole numbers itself. Then what is the essence of teaching the whole thing to them?
mm,
So you see, that is backward thinking. Now let me just excuse my bad language, though.
mm, mm.
That is not it's not forward looking at all. To say that they're embarrassing the kids, what is embarrassment? What is more embarrassing than for me to complete the school without knowing anything?
Mm.
Yeah. So, and in fact, some of these ones they support them before you realize they join the average learners, and before you realize they proceed to the distance. But if you allow them to run like that, they will not see top. Let me use the local balance.
Mm.
They
Now,
will not
based on one of the questions that you have answered concerning the teacher these inequalities in Ghana compared to that of the UK, you mentioned about computer skills. Now,
mm,
I don't know, based on how teachers are trained in Ghana, I don't know, is there any policy in place to ensure that teachers that are being trained are given any form of ICT skills? Because I could remember when we were in Akachiko, you go to
mm,
ICT classes at the top there, nothing goes on.
mm,
They only be teaching you things relating to word theory from the beginning to the end.
mm, mm.
So is the teacher training colleges in Ghana also failing teachers in respect of this acquisition of ICT skills?
Exactly. And here it's not even in the colleges alone. They start to acquire the skills from infancy, from their basic school. The schools they have iPads.
Mm,
The schools have iPads, the iPad trolleys that they are fixing them. They move them from class to class. Every kid has one, is playing with them, typing, doing all these things. So it goes beyond the college alone. But the same thing, even students doing ICT in colleges don't have the computers to practice with.
mm, mm,
Students who are running ICT as a course are not
mm,
even having it. So just imagine somebody who's doing maths and science. How will you
mm.
also get access to the computer? So the colleges are also failing them, and the whole system is failing everybody.
So is it as a result of that? That's why the current government in Ghana is saying they were providing teachers with laptops and they wanted to provide uh, students in senior high schools with iPad or whatsoever.
Oh, I think that it's a fine idea, but whether it is implementable or they can do it is another thing. The
Mm. I think we lost your voice. Can you hear me? Oh. Can you hear me? You can hear me. Okay, okay. I, uh, oh, I can't hear you again. It's like something happened and the voice wasn't coming again. Let me try and see. Let me. Okay. Now I think we've spent almost 2 hours. I want to ask you what would be your closing remarks to teachers who are watching you from Ghana, Nigeria, or all over the world. Okay. Okay, sir, I want to thank you so much. Sir, I appreciate all that you have said. You were on point. You've actually given us an insight into your teacher education. You have taken us through what's supposed to be done in colleges, how we can actually prepare ourselves to also take up some of these teaching opportunities at the international level. I appreciate it so much. And finally, your yes, you see, they can't really hear you. People are saying they can't hear. Yeah, I can't really hear you either. So somebody said, what happened to the audio? I think it may be from your end. Oh, okay, okay. So, and finally, thank you so much. When I called on you, you didn't hesitate. You didn't give me tough time. I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much. And what we can wish you is we wish you the best. We pray that opportunities will open up to you, doors will open so that you make good use of them. Who knows? Maybe some of these opportunities will also give you the awakening to be able to extend your helping hand to Ghana, help our educational system to be improved. God bless you so much. I appreciate it, sir. O- Okay, okay. So then enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll link up at the other side. Thank you, sir. Okay, bye bye. Okay. Okay, guys, thank you so much for making time with us. Thank you so much for spending almost 2 hours with us, listening to what Mr. Nyavor Lawson has to tell us. Thank you so much. We'll catch you hopefully next week, Saturday at 7 p.m. on another Teacher's Diary. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Please do consider sharing the link. Share it for somebody to have access to what Sir has said. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.